I woke up to the sound of drums pounding in the distance, but when I looked outside, there was no festival. Just darkness and silence, like the village was holding its breath. Then I saw him, Prince Adebayo, standing in the middle of the square, staring up at my window. His eyes glowed like a dying fire. Everyone knew about Prince Adebayo, the son of King Obais. He was rich, powerful, and cruel. His anger could burn down a family, and his charm could make you forget he was dangerous. They said he never slept, not once in his life. The elders whispered that his mother had made a deal with something inhuman when he was born, that she had traded his sleep for power. People said he could hear things you mutter to yourself, feel the weight of secrets you thought only you knew. I didn't believe any of it. Until the night he came to my house. It started 3 days earlier. My brother, Tunde, had been working in the palace. He was just a cook, nothing special, but he had sharp ears and a loose mouth. That night, he came home late, pale and shaking. They found the servant, he whispered to me, eyes darting around like someone might hear. "What servant?" I asked. Tunde just shook his head and said, "I don't want to talk about it. But if anyone asks, I don't know anything." He wouldn't eat, wouldn't drink, and kept staring at the door like it might burst open any moment. The next day, the drums started. At first, it was just in the background, like someone practicing for a festival. But by nightfall, it was louder, closer. Tunde was worse, sweating and muttering to himself. Then, on the third night, I woke up and saw the prince outside. My legs were shaking as I crept downstairs. I don't know why I went, maybe I thought I could reason with him, or maybe I was too scared to stay still. When I opened the door, he smiled. "You're braver than your brother," he said. His voice was smooth, but his eyes stayed cold. "What do you want?" I asked, trying to keep my voice steady. He tilted his head. "Your brother has something of mine. Something he shouldn't have seen." "I don't know what you're talking about," I said. He laughed, soft and low, and stepped closer. "It doesn't matter. I'll have him before dawn. I just thought you'd like to say goodbye." I slammed the door and locked it, but it didn't make me feel safe. I ran upstairs to wake Tunde, but he was gone. The bed was cold, like he'd been gone for hours. We found him the next day, deep in the forest. His body was whole, but his eyes were wide open, frozen in terror. There were no marks on him, no blood, but his hands were clenched so tight they had to be pried open. Inside his fist was a small black bead, smooth like glass. The elders wouldn't touch it. They said it was something from the old days, something that didn't belong to us. I don't know what they did with it, but the drum stopped after that. Prince Adebayo still walks the village sometimes. He smiles at everyone like nothing happened, but no one meets his gaze. And I don't sleep with my window open anymore.